they're masters of their craft. So that was an experience for me that I really, really enjoyed. Hey y'all, I'm Jay. I'm a singing and songwriting teacher, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Bad Valentine by Angelina Jordan and Toby Gad, as recommended by many of you angels out there. Let's get into it.
I stood you up on Valentine.
Ooh,
Gave you no reason why.
strong opening line.
Decided I cut you off without a tear in my eye.
Mm. So in this song, she seems to be using more of a slack fold, aka vocal fry, and I love the bit of texture that it's adding to her voice because of the character that she's playing. Now, we all know that Angelina can sing super smooth and beautifully, but I don't think that that would work in the context of this song, so she's making a very strong character choice here.
I hit too high when I saw you on some table for two.
Mm.
I knew I'd never see the sun shine with you, so I spent my night with the moon. I
Ooh.
thought I told you I would miss up, yeah.
On the high note in life, she's making a subtle vowel modification to more of an ah sound because the I letter, the I vowel, is really difficult to sing. It's kind of tricky because you can sing it a number of ways, but she made the smart choice of going more to an open sound there.
I warned you right from the start. Roses are red and violets are blue, and you are a fool to try, 'cause I'm a bad
Ooh. I love that chorus. The lyrics and melody make sense. Ooh. Come on, riff.
Just had a feeling it was time to let the flowers die.
Hmm.
Maybe I've gotten so mean to you, 'cause you're always so nice. You even smile when you were hurt, sugar-coated my words. Oh, and you should have been breathing fire and showed me you're a fighter.
Mm.
Oh, that's how you lost all your worth.
So the choir in the background seems to be in like a very, very dark, deep sound, and it's giving us like this very ominous feeling like some doom is impending. And they're also singing a descending line, which kind of adds to that impending dread that we kind of feel coming on.
I thought I told you I would mess up your I warned you right from the start, yeah.
Yes.
Roses are red and violets are blue, and you are a fool to try.
In the chorus section, I really like how she emphasizes the vowel oo in the word blue. It really contrasts with the roses are red, violets are blue. Like there's this stark contrast between the two colors she's talking about.
'Cause I'm a bad Valentine, should've
Hmm.
known. If you only hear what you wanna hear, you're never gonna know me.
Oh, I like that melody there.
Should've known.
So the choir here in the background is subtly singing the word bad, and they're going back to that descending line. Descending lines make us feel, this feeling of uneasiness. It's a little bit more of like an unstable sound. So that adds a lot to this already new bridge, this new melody that we're getting here. You wanna hear what you wanna
If you only
hear?
see what you wanna see,
Yes,
I told
that's
you I
catchy.
would mess up,
Yes. So here she really takes up the word life on that beautiful ah sound that we talked about earlier. This gives us a great climax and closing to this song.
roses are red, violets are blue, and you are a fool to try, 'cause I'm a bad Valentine.
that particular word bad at the very end there had like a lot of slack to it, a lot of extra vocal fry. So that adds like this little bit of texture to really emphasize that word one last time. Solid
I'm a
melody.
bad
She
Valentine.
sounds amazing here
I'm a
too.
bad Valentine, yeah. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
a bad Valentine.
All right, so let's look at some of the songwriting aspects because I think that this was a really well constructed song. When I'm first looking at a song, I really like to look at the concept first, the overall, like, overarching narrative or kind of theme that's tying everything together. And in this one, it's pretty obvious. It's the title of the song, right? Bad Valentine. And all of the lyrics and the kind of metaphors tie back to that idea of Valentine's Day, romance, a relationship that's just not working out. And I think that both the verses and the bridge section do a good job of tying back to that central idea. So everything's really cohesive because it stays within the language of the metaphor. In terms of lyrics, I really like how this song starts us off basically in media res, basically in the middle of the situation. So we don't know where the situation was before or really where it's going. We're kind of just dropped in like the turmoil of everything. And that opening line was a very strong hook. Nowadays, there's millions and billions of songs out there, so you want to get our attention from the first couple of seconds for sure. And this song did a great job of that. I really like the visual of no tears in her eyes and sitting alone at a table for two. These are all really subtle ways of telling us that things aren't working out and she doesn't care about it really. She's just kind of over the situation, but she doesn't flat out tell us that. It's subtly implied through the visual metaphors. I also really love the sun and the moon lyric in there. I thought that that was another very clever, interesting way to show that kind of difference between the two characters of the story. Very smart way of showing but not telling us. In verse 2, I really like the flowers die lyric because I think that that ties back really well to the line in the chorus about roses and violets. I think that when you're writing lyrics, you usually want to kind of have them come back and circle to the overall chorus, like the overall theme in the chorus. So, very smart choice there. When getting into the different verses, it seems that verse 1 is more centralized on Angelina herself and her perspective, and verse 2 is about the other person. So we kind of are getting both sides, both narratives of the story here. I love the bridge section of the song. We really get some like new triplet bass rhythms here, cuts up from like the longer notes that we had in the verse and chorus section. I also have this sneaking suspicion that Toby Gad really used Rolling in the Deep or Rumor Has It by Adele as the reference track for this particular song because a lot of the arrangement choices with the choir and drums really kind of pull me back into that type of era of Adele. When the focus is the drums and background vocals, you really feel that in your soul. Those are elements that really just speak to the soul on a rhythmic and a melodic, like a human level. The human voice affects us like no other instrument does. So when that's kind of the focus, you immediately get pulled in and it just hits you on a primal level, it hits you on a different level. And plus, I love those songs, so I love that this one kind of feels like it belongs in that realm too. Very cool choice. And I know that Angelina loves Adele, so maybe she had some influence on the arrangement and overall sound of the production. All right, y'all. So, since Toby Gad is a really great producer that's worked with people like John Legend, Beyonce, and Fergie, I thought it would be really fun to look at the overall production of the song too. Let's get into it. All right, so let's look at what we have going on here.
I stood you up on Valentine.
So we start with Angelina
Gave you no reason
and the
why.
piano. Let's solo her.
Decided I cut you off without a tear in my eye.
So it seems to be a very dry and unaffected vocal, but it seems that they added a lot of delay because she's kind of echoing a lot if you hear that.
Decided I cut you off
Yeah, there's a little
without
trail.
a tear in my eye.
So
I
good.
head too high when I saw you on some table for
And then
you
we have the piano at the beginning too. Dun, 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 dun. Also a descending line, so it gives us that like creepy vibe and feeling like something's coming up that's bad that's about to happen.
I knew I'd never see the sunshine with
Let's
you.
hear the drums. So it sounds like we just have like some rim snares going on there. Very simple. Ah, now we have the choir coming in. Ooh, and they're very spread, so it gives us like a wide feeling. Yes. We have some bass. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I love muting the bass because it adds so much. See, now it feels really full and dense. Ah, we have some guitar in verse 2. I didn't notice that before. Let's listen to that. Dun, 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 dun. It sounds like Rolling in the Deep. Dun, 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 dun. That's so cool. I like that they waited to bring that in. It gives a little bit of extra crunch later on in the song. Very cool. What's this? Oh, these are the strings. Ah, they're very kind of cinematic. Adding just like this pad that connects everything, this extra melody too, that's just adding intensity. What are drums in here? Kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. It's very simple, but it's like very visceral. It just kind of like thumps at you, hits you in the face, hits you in the chest. Very cool. More strings here. Yeah, she sounds so good.
And you are a fool to try, 'cause I'm a bad Valentine. I'm a bad Valentine. I'm a bad Valentine, yeah. 'Cause I'm a bad Valentine.
I love how that piano is processed. There's like some reverb on it. Makes it feel really, it's in the background, but it feels like very ambient, very kind of vibey. Very cool. Very great production. Very solid. It's simple, but it all works together really, really well. All right, you all. So hopefully you enjoyed my in-depth look at Bad Valentine by Angelina Jordan and Toby Gad. Hopefully you learned a lot. I learned a lot just from hearing the stems and listening to how the song itself was constructed. So, that's how you learn, by listening to the greats. So they're masters of their craft. So that was an experience for me that I really, really enjoyed. And once again, keep leaving me your recommendations. I love to take those because it just expands my horizons, and I might give you a shout out in the next video if you do that. Once again, if you found anything that I said to be insightful, helpful, or whatever, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help, and I appreciate it greatly. Thanks.